Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Subject Computer Science for 12th Standard A section. Last class we completed the chapter 14. Now in this session we are going to start a new chapter, chapter 15, Data Manipulation through SQL, part 1. In this session we are going to cover the following topic of this chapter, chapter 15, that is Introduction, SQLite, creating database using SQLite, creating a table, adding records. Let's start our class. In the introduction, first we would like to understand the concept of database, which we already discussed in the MySQL topic chapter. Same definition is explained here. That is, a database is an organized collection of data. The term database can both refers to the data themselves or to the database management system. So database management system is a software application used to maintain the data in a specific manner, and whenever the user wants the data in a different way, and they can access the data and they can obtain information from the data by using the DBMS software. So users don't have to be human users, they can be the other programs and application as well. So we can access the database software by using another application software itself. So we will learn how Python programs can interact with the SQL. So in this chapter what we are trying to do is the DBMS softwares are accessed through Python. So in previous chapter we learned MS SQL, where we learn how to handle DBMS manually and how user should give commands, and which are accessed directly by the users. Now in this lesson we are accessing the DBMS software using Python. So SQLite is a simple relational database system which saves its data in regular and data files or even in the internal memory of the computer. It is designed to embedded in application instead of using separate database server programs such as MySQL or Oracle. So SQLite is a fast, rigorous, tested and flexible, making it easier to work. So SQL is a simple and fastest database software which is embedded in application software which can be used through Python. So there was no heavy commands or heavy memory required for this SQLite software like MS SQL and Oracle. So Python has a native library for SQLite. To use SQLite, we should follow the simple three steps in Python. First one, we should import the module SQLite 3. Step number 1, we should import SQLite 3. Step 2, create a connection using the connect method of the module SQLite and pass the name of the database file. Step 3, set the cursor object. So cursor is equal to connection.cursor. By using this cursor, we can access all the databases in SQLite. So this is the simple 3 step. Number 1, import SQLite. Number 2, create connection using connect method, and you set the cursor by using the cursor method of the SQLite module. So connecting to a database, step 2 means passing the name of the database to be accessed. For example, in step 2 what we are trying to do, either one, we can create a new database or we can access the existing database. The database already exists, the connection will open the same. Otherwise Python will open a new database with a specific name. In the same way, step 3, cursor is a control structure used to traverse and fetch data. So control structure is a traverse to fetch data from the database SQLite, the records of the database. Cursor has a major role in working with Python. All the commands will be executed only through cursor object. So cursor object is very important object by which only we can fetch the data of database SQLite. To create a table in database, create an object and write the SQL command in it. So here in the example you can see SQL underscore COMM is an object created manually by the user. Within that object we can give the SQL statement. The SQL statements are common for all database management system. So we can use all the SQL statement which was discussed in the MySQL in the previous lessons. For executing the command, use the cursor method and pass the required SQL command as parameter. So we already created two objects. One is cursor, another one is connect method used for connecting database, and for fetching the data we can use this cursor object. Through this cursor object we can send this SQL statement by using the object name. So this object can be sent as a parameter to the cursor, and this object will execute in the SQLite. Any changes made in the values of the record should be saved by the command commit, so which we already discussed before closing the table connection. So if you want to save the changes, you should use the commit command, but this commit command permanently save the database. So this commit command comes under uh, data transmission control mm, commands, DTC, which we already discussed in previous lesson, lesson number 11. Now in this topic we are going to see how to create a new database using SQLite in Python. So the following program P15.1 is explained how to create a new database. For example, open the Python program, open the file P15.1 where we write the Python program to create the new database in SQLite software. So open the Python program. So open the file P15.1. So what we do here, the first thing, step number one was followed here to import SQLite module by using the import command. After that, we create another object called connection and use the connect method. So SQL3.connect, and here within the parentheses we give the database name. If the database is already exists, then this database will be connected. If the database is not exist, then a new database is created with this name academy. So after that we create a second object, the third step, creating cursors. So cursor is equal to connection dot cursor method is used here. We use two methods, one is connect, another one is cursor. So three steps are followed here. Very simple step for connecting the SQLite. First, import module by using import module SQLite pre, create connection object by using the connect method, and create a cursor by using cursor method. After typing this, when you run the command, so here you can see a new database is created. So it means there was no error. Academy.db, a new database is created. If the database is not already created, then a new database is created. In the same way, if you change the name from academy to school, then what you if you use the same name academy, and when you run the same program again, you can see the same database is connected. So this is how the connect to the SQLite in Python. So next one, what we are going to do is, after creating a connection to the SQL command, now we are going to create a new table. So new table can be created by using the SQL command create table, table name. Here we do all the necessary field name data like field name, data type. So all the names and their data types are same as MS SQL. So simply follow all the commands from SQL, and here you can give all the commands for creating the data type. Here we create something around 6 columns. One is roll number, student name, grade, gender, average, and birth data, and we also create a primary key for a roll number. So this is the way somebody might do it in a SQL command. The same shell command is used here, but the method of executing the command is different. So how we can execute these table command in academy database, which can be accessed by the simple object, creating a simple object, and that simple object is translated to the cursor object. So cursor object is created by calling the cursor method of the connection. The cursor is used to traverse the record from the result set. You can define a SQL command within a triple quote string in Python. So here you can see the SQL command, but this SQL command can be used as it is in Python. The only condition is we should enclose this command within triple quoted string. See here, triple quoted string are created uh, are are put across the MySQL command, and these commands are stored in the object called SQL underscore command. In this above example, uh, an integer primary key and column is labeled like this automatically and increment in SQLite. To put it another words, if your column of your table is declared by an integer primary key, then whenever a null value will be used as an input for this column, the null value will be automatically converted into integer, which will one larger than the highest value so far used in that column. So here you can see integer primary key for roll number is used here. So if any null value is inserted in this column, then the last used integer data is converted and incremented by 1 and stored in that value automatically in SQLite, and there was no error is erased like MES SQL. So next one, adding a records. So how we can add the record? We already know how to create a database. By using the 15.2, we are going to see how to create a database, how to create a table, and how to add a records. So go to the Python, open the file p15.2 where we already written the commands. So first line, importing SQLite, creating connection by using connect method, creating cursor object by using cursor object. After that, here the cursor dot execute command, the first command is executed. Here you can see all the MySQL SQL commands are quoted with triple quotes. See, drop table student. So this command is executed by the cursor. After that, SQL command becomes contains another command called create table, where we create a table named the student. All the commands are stored in the SQL underscore object. This object is executed by using the cursor.exe command. So cursor.exe command is executed for more than one time in a single program. First time when we run the cursor.execute command to execute the drop table command. Second time we run this object where we store the create table command. Third time when we run this execute command where we store the insert table command, where we insert the values for the table which already created. So student table is created here by using the cursor and passing the object SQL underscore command. In the same object contains different command. Here we set the command object to this command cursor.execute, and again we create another object where we insert another row, and for fourth time we execute the cursor command with a different object. After that, finally we commit. We execute the commit method to save all the data. After that, we close the data. So we close the database by using connection.close. So finally we get student table is created. So now I am going to run the program. So you can see all the databases created, table are created, all two rows are added to that particular table, and table student table created messages display on the screen. It means in the SQLite there was a new database created, namely academy, and if the academy database already contains the student table, then that table will be deleted and a new table is created. By using that new table, new rows are inserted every time. So this is how the Python program execute the SQL command uh, in the SQLite. After adding the separate rows, if you want to do some more actions, for following example, assume that you have an already existing database academy.db and table student. We have a list with data of person which will be used. So go to the program 15.3 where we can see how we can fetch the data of SQLite. So open the program 15.3. So what we are going to do is here we are opening the same academy database by using the connection object, and we create cursor object using cursor method, and a new object is used, namely student underscore data, where we insert all the data of every day student. So here you can see this object contains a list list of element. So list are created by square brackets. So it means each and every element is a row for that particular table. So in the list you can see there are something around 5 rows data are stored in a single object. By using that single object, all the data are accessed and stored in the table, store into the particular table, student table, one by one. So how we can store the table, how we can insert these data line by line to that particular table is by using the for loop. So here you can see for loop p in the student underscore data. This is the list, this is the object. So we are accessing the list, and each and every list item have their unique index number which start from 0. When the value of the p is 0, the first row, that is Bhaskar CM75.2 1998 all the data are stored in the format given in this uh, command, and all the data are stored inside the table of academy, student table of the academy database. So here we run the format table, and here new command is created. All the data are formatted and stored in the particular table. Finally, when our loop is completed by inserting all the list elements, the cursor.execute command execute the SQL command and terminate the commit the data and close the database finally. So this is how the whole records of a single list is added to the particular table in a SQLite. So next class we will see how to view the data of the database table, and how to access and how to apply the update commands of SQL in the Python program. So in this lesson we access how to we learn how to create a table using Python program, as well as we know how to create a database, how to insert a database through Python in the SQLite. Next class we will discuss how to update, how to delete, how to give some other commands related to MySQL database commands. So inshallah we will continue our class in the next class. If you have any doubt, clear all your doubts, prepare well for your examination. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.